Well, I am still recovering from San Diego Comic Con. We're about a week out as of this video. I know, I'm getting old. Ugh, getting old sucks, people. I wouldn't recommend it. But I am continuing our reviews of all of the con swag that I picked up. And today we are looking at the Tamashii Nations Bandai Namco offering from both their Tamashii Nations booth and the Bandai Namco Godzilla booth. Yes, we are looking at the SH Monsterarts 89 exclusive edition, as it's being called, Godzilla. So basically, your Godzilla vs. Biollante. This one was fairly reasonably priced. He retailed for $95. I think after tax, I paid about $105 or so after all said and done. But I more than not wanted to look at this thing. This is a more modern SH Monsterarts, and it is technically a Comic-Con exclusive, even though they will be trouting this thing everywhere and anywhere that they go for the rest of the year. So I know for a lot of you were bemoaning that this was a convention exclusive. Well, you're going to have opportunities to pick it up, and I'm actually fairly certain they put this thing up online already. So, but without further ado, let's crack this bad boy open and see what Tamashii has to offer with arguably one of the best Godzilla designs of all time. Now, this thing did come in a shipper box. I'm not going to bore you with that, but as always, let's look at the actual art on the box. So here we got the front. And the nice thing is it's slightly embossed, as you can tell. So here is the side. We'll go. As you can see, I'm trying to zhuzh up the background a little bit with my current digs. So excuse the haphazard look of everything. So here we go on the back. So the promotional art that they showed off promoting this bad boy. And then on the side, just this all embossed. It's a nice packaging overall. Here's the top. And then there's the bottom. So solid packaging. Not much to say about it other than I like the look of it. The slightly Art Deco kind of look of the figure on there. That's it's pretty cool. But why are we looking at the box? Let's crack this bad boy open. That's what you're all here for. And just a little bit of tape. All right. Then to the side. So you go. In the clamshell. No accessories whatsoever. Let's get him popped open. Got that brace there and completely covered in. Boom. There you go. Alright, so we're going handheld for some up-close detailing. So, much like most SH Monsterarts, yeah, he's pretty detailed. So the main gimmick is the blue light-up spikes, which don't really do anything, but they are translucent, as you can see. Let's get that zoomed in there. There we go. So, segmented tail. The one thing I'm already looking at right here is the variant in the paint job, which that is fairly noticeable. Let's zoom in on that guy right there. So yeah, right there where the tail segment ends. This is clearly a different paint job from this. So this is probably from the original release, and the new paint job for the upper torso probably just got replaced, and instead of properly painting it, yeah, there you go. So already that's kind of like, oof, especially if you're paying $100 for this guy. That's an oh boy. So much like all Monsterarts, he's articulated. There, and this, the seams are pretty well hidden on this one. I had the 93 Godzilla at one point, and one of my biggest issues was the neck seams that were up here, because it gave you two different heads. And see, so the jaw opens. There we go. So the head sculpt's really nice. They did seem to fix some of the seaming issues with the neck. This is part of the problem I have with a lot of these Monsterarts, is that they don't hide the seams that well. I get it, because you're going for posability, and it's very hard to really get both screen accuracy and posability in any of this stuff. So there are compromises made with everything. So, but the paint detailing, as you can see, is actually very well done. The sculpt is phenomenal. I will give him that. So there's little flecks here and there. The mouth, the tongue, very nice, very well done. The paint job, as you can see, matches. So there, exactly. So this is the original. We go down, and then all the way to that tail. So let's look at the legs. So rotation on the feet. So the knees are actually capped a lot better. And this was my big issue with my 95 or my 93 one. That, man, those seams stuck out real hard. I'll try to pull back a little bit. So, and then there's the hip joint. Waist action. So there you go. He is stiff. This is right out the box. So there you go. You got some movement right there on the joint. The head is stiff as hell too, but as you can see, you get the full movement and articulation. He's got a very nice base black paint job, which falls in. I know, you can hear the underwhelming in my voice. This is part of the reason why I'm not a massive fan of this line in general. Again, for the cost that I'm paying versus what I'm getting, yes, I'm getting screen accurate, but I'm also buying an action figure. Yes, it's a glorified, high-end action figure, but I want, I'm willing to give up a little bit of articulation for detailing, and cost, especially in this day and age, is a big deal for me. So, yeah. Overall, like, he's fine, but he does sum up my issues with the Monsterarts line, is that it's just so damn much. And not only that, but like, he's light. This does feel like if this falls, like, you're gonna break. And I hate that. It's the problem with collecting high-end Japanese figures. Beyond that, like, if you're just displaying them, it'll be fine. I know a lot of people just buy them, put them in one cool pose, and then there you go. But again, I can do the same thing with my Bandai vinyls. I know it's a matter of taste, and my tastes go. I just kind of want a version of the character that looks as close as possible to the screen. I have my issues with Bandai vinyls, but for the most part, I know what I'm paying for. I'm paying $30 for something that's actually bigger than this, and I can throw it the side of a Mack truck and it'll be fine. Where this, a little earthquake falls over, bam. So, but that said, this is a vast improvement from some of the earlier Monsterarts figures I have bought. Like I said, the two I had in my collection for the longest time were the 93 Godzilla. It was the Ori poster variant, which I did enjoy the paint job on it. And I had the 2019 King Ghidorah. The 2019 King Ghidorah looked awesome, but he had a myriad of issues, especially with standing. And for the $225 I paid for him at Comic Con, yeah, it was maddening. So, but this is what Bandai offered this year for Comic Con. It's a repaint. So if you already have the initial release of the 89, this might not be for you, but if you like the colorway, especially with the blue spikes and everything, this one shouldn't be too hard to get a hold of for right now. Maybe in a year or two, once it's out of circulation, it's probably going to go up in price. Then you'll probably regret it. But I would say if you see it pop up online, pick it up if you prefer, the blue spikes over anything else. Beyond that, that's it. This is a basic bare bones release, and for a Comic-Con release, I can go on for hours on Comic-Con exclusives. They used to be something special, and now they're a little less than special. So there you guys go. So overall, look, not a bad figure. Again, I'm not particularly a fan of SH Monsterarts, as I've said already, but for about $110, it's not exactly a bank breaker, but I wouldn't have gone out of my way if I wasn't at Comic-Con. The beauty was Tamashii Nations has gotten ridiculously impossible to get into in the last few years because of their Dragon Ball figures, but they made this guy readily available at the Godzilla end of the booth, so didn't have to wait in line, just walked right up, picked up this bad boy, and as I'm showing you right now, they had a lot of other figures for sale, and of all the stuff, the Monsterarts 2019 Godzilla variant sold out, and everything else sold out, even the X Plus. This guy was still available on Sunday afternoon when I walked by, so it really showed people were going more for some of the Bandai vinyls and some of the other stuff that they had there over this guy, so that kind of told me the popularity, or at least the interest that people had picking this one up. So, but there you go. That is the Tamashii Nations SH Monsterarts Godzilla 89 exclusive edition. Technically, it's a convention exclusive, but not at San Diego Comic-Con. It's not in the box, so it's not a Comic-Con exclusive only. So I guarantee if you're going to New York Comic-Con, this guy will probably pop up there, and most other places Tamashii's going to be rolling out this summer as well. So remember, if you like what you see, we do have a show. It's called The Kaiju Kingdom Podcast. You can find us at thekaijukingdompodcast.com. And if you don't like downloading, we are also streaming on all of your favorite podcast streamers, including Spotify, Apple, or wherever else you might find better podcasts. We're also on social media. You can find us on X at The Kaiju Kingdom, Instagram at The Kaiju Kingdom, and Facebook.com/The Kaiju Kingdom Podcast. And that'll do it for this edition of the Koffers. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.